This study reports on developing a prototype array system for boiling histotripsy in abdominal targets. My name is Vera Khokhlova, and the whole team is coming from the University of Washington and Moscow State University. Boiling histotripsy uses millisecond-long ultrasound pulses to mechanically liquefy target tissue with real-time B-mode imaging. In our previous studies, boiling histotripsy has been successfully performed in vivo transcutaneously in porcine kidney and liver using a single-element transducer. However, while this initial attempt was successful, certain critical challenges remain. Aberrations from the body wall often degrade the focus and obscure cogenicity from bubbles. A breathing motion, mainly for liver treatments, smears lesion margins in vivo, and quantitative control of the degree of tissue liquefaction is needed to inform treatment. So the goal of this study was to develop an improved BH clinical prototype to address these challenges. Our new system comprises a 1.5 MHz spiral-phased array with 12 cm focal distance, about 0.8 F number, and central opening for holding an ultrasound imaging probe. The array was electrically matched to the custom-modified Verasonics engine to deliver BH exposures. First, the system performance was characterized by hydrophone measurements in water, and it was shown that fully developed shocks of over 100 megapascal formed at the focus at about 12% of the maximum acoustic power of the system, thus leaving a margin for compensating attenuation when focusing in tissue. Then, electronic steering capabilities of the array were evaluated for shock-forming conditions in the focus. Focus steering trajectories were developed, and uniform tissue liquefaction was obtained for trajectories with 1 millimeter spacing between the foci and varying number from 5 to 10 pulses per focus, with less connective tissue structures remained with larger number of pulses. In these experiments, an improved imaging control of the treatment was implemented using plane wave Doppler imaging. Doppler sequences were used immediately after each BH pulse to visualize residual bubble motion at the focus. And it was shown that maximum bubble velocities increased up to 30 centimeters per second as the treatment progressed, thus providing a quantitative metric for real-time control of tissue liquefaction. To introduce aberration corrections, we used the BH array in a pulse echo mode. Short pulses were focused into the tissue phantom through the aberrating gel phantom that mimicked fat and muscle of the body wall. Then pulse inversion imaging was implemented to visualize the second harmonic of the back-scattered signal from the focus and introduce phase correction for each array element. The results demonstrated complete restoration of the shock amplitude by comparing the peak pressures and waveforms measured at the focus by fiber optic hydrophone before and after phase aberration correction. And finally, compensation for the breathing motion was developed and tested. The ex vivo bovine heart tissue samples were translated quasi-periodically, as shown in the movie, mimicking the breathing. Then B-mode imaging was used for tracking the water sample interface, and a motion prediction algorithm was applied to translate the BH array using the robotic arm and compensate for this motion. The results showed that lesions made without compensation was larger, and some part was just partially treated, comparing with lesions obtained with no motion. But when motion compensation was applied, it yielded lesion of the same size as without motion. So in conclusion, in this study, an improved BH clinical prototype was built with electronic focus steering for volumetric treatment, improved imaging control of the treatment progression, aberration correction and breathing compensation are being developed for in vivo studies, and just recently, pilot animal studies in porcine kidney and liver have been successfully performed. So more to come toward clinical implementation of the method. Thank you.